Well, good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Iowa PGA Membership Board of Directors, my name is Thomas Hutton. I'm the Executive Director for the Iowa PGA, and this is my first annual awards luncheon presented by All-Star Pro Golf, so it is a great honor to stand here before you to just do some few opening remarks, introduce our partner today for our awards luncheon, and then you guys can dive right into some lunch. So it is really a very unique opportunity here at the Iowa PGA to have both our PGA members, our board of directors, and then our junior golfers of the year all in one room. It's going to be a special couple of hours here honoring our award winners, honoring our junior golfers, and welcoming in some new PGA members into our family here at the Iowa PGA. These events are not possible without great partners and great support. And we've had a long time partnership with All-Star Pro Golf. I would like to obviously welcome them up to the podium at this time. In my short time with the Iowa PGA, I can tell that Dave Brostrom is a true gentleman that loves our PGA professionals and loves supporting what we do each day. And as I said, these events are not possible with great partners like All-Star Pro Golf. So I would like to welcome Dave up to the podium to say a few words, and if everyone could give them a nice warm Iowa welcome. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Thomas, and it's been good to meet you. And once again, it's our privilege to be sponsoring this luncheon. It's one of the highlights every year for us, and we certainly want to congratulate all of the recipients. And Aaron, congratulations on your award this year. The junior golfers, congratulations, and it's always fun to watch you receive your awards as well. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Thomas, but thank you very much.
So just so everyone knows how our day is going to go here today, I'm going to let you guys get back to eating. About halfway through the actual lunch portion, we'll start the actual official program. Before I cut everybody loose, I do just want to make a few introductions for some people that are with us here today. We are honored to have our District 8 Director with us today from Minnesota, who serves our 3 sections of Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota, J.D. Drimmel. Thank you very much for joining us, J.D. We did just have an election for our officers less than an hour ago, I guess. But I would like to introduce our new officer corps for the next 2 years, starting with our secretary, Aaron Strick, who's with us today from Pinnacle. Where's Aaron? There she is. Our vice president, Matt Sherlock from Edmonton. There's Matt. Our newly elected president from Wakanda, Aaron Kruger. And then our honorary president, the term was ended an hour ago, John Valier. And the last group that I would just like to say thank you to is our great partner here at Riverside Casino and Golf Resort. We really enjoy calling this our home for the Iowa PGA, as well as hosting this event annually here. So Troy and Stephanie, to your entire team, thank you so much for having us. So everyone enjoy lunch, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. Get started with our program here. If you haven't finished eating, feel free to continue eating. We got plated desserts are on the table. Feel free to trade or negotiate that you would like specific desserts, or go to another table and grab seconds, Dave Schneider. So feel free to do anything you would like there. Hopefully I'm fitting right in here. I'm catching a drift here of some of the things. So again, it's a real honor to be here. I really want to say thank you to the parents of the junior golfers, and my special plug for the juniors. Before the day's done, please make sure to say I love you to your parents. They do a lot for you. As somebody that lives far away from his parents right now, it's something that I regret not doing more of. And so junior golfers, please make sure to say I love you to your parents and thank you. They do a lot for you, both around golf and around life, and they provide a lot of inspiration for everybody, so please make sure to do that. I'm going to turn the mic over here, but before I do that, I do just want to recognize our past president, John Valier, is going to be handing out the awards. Once you receive your award, obviously feel free to come up and say a few words. Watch our little our video here to make sure we don't knock anything over while you're walking up here. Once you're done with your speech, we ask that you just head to the back, my left corner where Kevin's there. We're just going to do an individual picture with the backdrop, and then you can proceed back to your chair to listen to the rest of the speeches. We have a committee that handles all of our special awards. Our chair this year was Todd Fowler, our PGA professional from Arsenal Island Golf Course. Todd is with us today. His committee spends a lot of time going through all the nominations. And I'm going to turn it over to Todd, who's going to be our MC. So thank you, Todd, to your committee, and enjoy the program. Thank you.
I got two up here. Here we go. First of all, thank you, Thomas, and welcome again. You're still on your honeymoon stage, but we're really happy to have you here. Been in the board meetings now with Thomas for a few, and we're really going in the right direction. I really have to thank Tess Gowdy. She's the one that keeps us all on point, no matter what our job is on the board, with dates and times and emails and all that stuff. So Tess, thank you very much for everything that you do. I do want to comment and thank my committee. I'm not going to name them because most of the people in the room might have gotten nominated and didn't win, and we don't need that to get ugly. But just kidding. And but I want to thank them. The reason I chose those individuals, number one, I tried to find somebody from a different corner of the state so that we weren't all in the Quad Cities voting together over a couple of Coors Lights. And because of the kind of people they are. They came from private, public, different types of formats, different kind of courses. And but I chose them because of the kind of individuals they are, both as a professional and as a person. So thank you very much to those individuals that helped me with the process. I also want to congratulate, before I go much further, all the nominees. When I first saw the list, I couldn't have picked right off the list who was going to win the award. They're just terrific nominees, great group of golf professionals. And if you were nominated, I hope you've pounded your chest and made sure your board or your boss or whoever it is that is important in your employment knows that you were nominated for one of our special awards. Obviously, the junior golfers want to welcome you here, and your parents and your friends. Congratulations. We're going to go through your awards here in a little bit too, but we want to make sure that you're the future of our game, and we want to make sure you know you're welcome, and we're glad to have you here. I'm going to also thank Thomas for that comment about his parents. I don't think there's anybody here that probably shouldn't send a text when this is all over. So let's get started. Our first award winners are the Merchandisers of the Year. Merchandisers of the Year awards are recognized in three categories: the private, the public, and the resort. And each professional demonstrates superior skills as a merchandiser in the promotion of golf. The criteria used to select the winners are credit ratings, community involvement, staffing, inventory, displays, merchandising techniques, and sales. Our first winner, Merchandiser of the Year for private facilities, is Mike Scott, Crow Valley Golf Club, Davenport, Iowa. Mike and his team take great pride in offering their members a wide array of merchandise from top vendors and make it a priority to focus on service, training, and generating merchandising philosophy that their entire staff believes in and can execute. Their attention to detail and merchandising techniques are second to none, allowing them to offer very competitive pricing. Mike's unable to attend today and asked me to read the following. For those of you who know Mike Scott, you can't represent Mike Scott without some shades on your forehead. First of all, Mike would like to apologize for not being able to be here in person and deliver this message today. He made a promise to his little 4-year-old girl, and they are currently on a plane headed to Disney World. There was no way he was going to miss it and miss her face light up when she realized he had just landed in Florida and headed to Disney for the next few days. Second, he would like to thank Dave Brostrom and the entire staff at All-Star Pro Golf for their continued support of our section and everything they do for us as PGA professionals. It's with great pride that not only I, but the entire Crow Valley team accept this honor. In addition, we would like to thank the awards committee for their support and recognize all the other nominees as they are equally deserving of the award. We would like to recognize his entire staff for all their hard work: Ryan Sargent, Ted Koppel, Matt Scahill, Haley Bugos, Maggie Lucas, and the entire Crow Valley golf staff. Thank you for everything you do and bring to the Crow Valley operations. Again, thanks for everything, and congratulations to all the other nominees and the award winners. Let's give a round of applause for Merchandiser of the Year, Private Club, Mike Scott. If you ever get a chance to room with Mike on a trip, do it. The Merchandiser of the Year for Resort Facilities, John Denebeer, PGA General Manager at Lake Panorama Golf Course in Panora, Iowa. John has been at Lake Panorama Golf Club since January of 1999. He's a 22-year member of the PGA. He was nominated and awarded this honor because the marketing and merchandising of his facility is one of the finest for decades. He and his staff adhere to all old-fashioned policies of hard work, respect for clients, and for being considerate to customers and employees alike. This is John's 6th award in this category. Again, John Denebeer, Lake Panorama Golf Club. Merchandiser of the Year Resort.
Thank you, Todd. Where's Dave? Dave, thank you for your continued support. Where's Dave at? Oh, there's Dave. Of this luncheon over all the years. Special thank you to the Iowa Section PGA, Todd and the selection committee. Means a lot. And special thanks to my head golf professional, Gary Babcock, and my first assistant, Justin Schmuel, and all the golf shop staff. I'll accept this award on their behalf. It's truly a team effort, and it's always nice to be acknowledged by your peers. So again, thank you, and very humble thanks.
Brian Lukey, the head PGA professional at Bunker Links Golf Club in Galesburg, Illinois, is the Merchandiser of the Year for Public Facilities. Brian and Bunker Link's merchandising philosophy is geared around an exciting tournament program. Their goal is to host exciting, fun, and well-run events, which in turn create larger purse payouts so their players and customers can purchase from their great selection of quality items at a competitive price. This is Brian's 3rd season at Bunker Hills. In order to build on his success and to increase his customer experience, he's also spent time with his staff and customers following the end of last season, asking for their feedback and ideas to put together a team effort. All these efforts continue to make a huge difference. So again, congratulations to Brian Lukey, the 2017 Merchandiser of the Year for Public Facilities.
Thank you very much. I'm very humbled to have won an award amongst the great professionals that are here in the Iowa section. It's a tremendous honor. And thank you very much to All-Star Pro Golf. Thank you very much to Todd and his committee. We all know that volunteering is very special and very rewarding, and we appreciate you and your committee, Todd. I was mentored by a Hall of Fame PGA professional. His name was Leon McNair, and I learned a lot from Leon, especially in the merchandising category. And sadly, he passed away from ALS last year. And so I know he's up there smiling right now, looking down at me and saying that I finally learned something. So thank you very much.
The next award is for Teacher of the Year. is given for excellence in golf instruction along with overall performance as a golf professional. Selection criteria include overall impact in teaching at his or her facility and unusual, innovative, or special teaching programs initiated or implemented along with instructional articles, videos, publications, written or produced. Outstanding golfers whom the nominee has instructed and his or her involvement in junior golf activities in the community are also considered. This year's recipient is Ken Shaw of Ken Shaw Golf Performance Studio.
Thanks, Todd, and I'd like to thank the committee for this nice honor, and also all the other award winners. All the golf professionals in this room particularly enjoy watching all the junior players coming up and accept their, Player of the Year award. 3 years ago, I left Glen Oaks Country Club to start my business, which is pretty much centered around my passion for the game, which is teaching. I'm sort of old school in that regard, in that, I still believe that as PGA professionals, our ability to teach the game, play golf with your members is still a very important part of what we do. When people come to me for help, they place their trust in me. It's something I take very seriously, and I really consider it a privilege to work with golfers who are trying to get better. I particularly love working with junior players. Got a couple of them in this room today. And when they come up to accept their award, it makes what I do worthwhile. It makes me feel great. I don't just work with talented players like Paige. I work with golfers of all abilities. Sometimes I'll work with a golfer who's threatening to quit the game if they don't get better. And so that's when the pressure's really on. I'll share with you one kind of a funny story of a person I worked with who came to me a few years ago. He was a CEO of a large insurance company in Des Moines, and he said, "Ken, I'm terrible at golf. I want you to make me better, but I don't want to have to pay you unless I get better." And I said, "Well, okay, this guy, his name's Barry." At this time, he was about a 36 handicapper, and I said, "Well, Barry, if I were to wave the magic wand and turn you into a 12, what would that be worth to you?" He said, "Well, I'd write you a check for $100,000. So I said, "Well, okay." So I take Barry to the practice range. Almost everybody's been to the state fair, right? Well, there's an engineering marvel. It's called the taffy making machine. It's a mechanical device where you have 4 different parts going in 4 different directions, and that was Barry's swing. So I signed an agreement with Barry. I still have it, and Barry was to get unlimited instruction from me, and for every hour instruction that Barry got from me, he had to practice at least 2 hours on the side, and 50% of it had to be on his short game. And so we structured an agreement where I was to be paid so much money for I think it was like $300 a stroke for the first 5 strokes that came off his handicap. And the next 5 strokes that we increased it, and the next 5 after that we increased it even more. And so, Barry did get a little better. He didn't make it to a 12. I didn't get my $100,000, but I love working with people of all abilities. I really enjoy what I'm doing now. I could not run my business without my wife, Connie. She supported me in every endeavor I've ever had in golf. She pays the bills. She schedules my appointments. She greets people in my facility, and she even keeps up on my social media page. And so she she really helps me out. And again, I'm honored to receive this award, and thank you very much.
I'm actually going to take a quick mulligan because I introduced Ken in the middle of the speech I'm supposed to give about him. 35-year career as a golf professional. His passion for teaching has never waned and now burns brighter than ever. The last 2.5 years, he's realized his dream of his teaching and club fitting studio. Many of his students are juniors. Most of them are doing very well in their careers, winning events locally, regionally, and nationally. And his dedication, through his dedication, many of his students are able to play collegiately. His teaching is not limited to young, as you just heard, and many of them have submitted letters of recommendation on his behalf for this award. Many of us in the room know about Ken's playing career. He played on the tour, 30 events, and has played in 9 major championships, 7 PGAs, 2 U.S. Opens. His knowledge with the golfing public, he shares his knowledge with the golfing public whenever he can. He even gave us a tip a little while ago. Did everybody hear that? 50% on your short game. 2 days worth of practice for every lesson. I was writing them down. And he even does things through YouTube and videos and things like that. So congratulations again, Ken, for being section teacher of the year. If I'll make a deal with you, and maybe next year, if I could be senior player of the year, maybe I'll give you all my purse winnings. How's that sound? The next award is the Charlie Burkhart High School Scholarship. Will Babcock in 2017 is our winner. Am I right that Will was not able to attend today? The Iowa PGA Foundation annually awards a college scholarship in memory of Charlie Burkhart, PGA member for 48 years and head professional at Elm Crest Country Club in Cedar Rapids for 47 of those. Will grew up in Panora, Iowa, and attended Panorama High School, where he played golf and advanced all 4 years to the 2A State Boys Golf Championship, winning back-to-back team state titles his sophomore and junior year. He also placed 4th his freshman year and 3rd his senior year as an individual. Was the first team All-State through senior year. Will is currently attending Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids, where he's playing on the men's golf team. He hopes to transfer after finishing at Kirkwood to a top golf school working towards the professional level. He was also an active member of the Iowa PGA Junior Tour. Congratulations to the 2017 Charlie Burkhart Scholarship recipient, Will Babcock. He has a statement here. He is currently, actually, as we would all love to hear, he's playing in a golf tournament. So that's a good excuse to miss anything. Class, a wedding, your wedding. Just kidding. I wish I were able to be here today with you. However, I'm competing in a college tournament in Kansas City. First, I would like to thank Dave Bostrom from All-Star Pro Golf for his support of the Iowa PGA and his continued sponsorship of the awards luncheon. I know this is a big deal for Dave because my dad always told me they had a great time. Secondly, I want to thank the Iowa PGA staff for providing me the opportunity to play competitive junior golf over the last 13 years, especially Tess, as she was the first person I met from the staff when I was 5. Also, to every PGA member in this room for hosting events and letting us play your golf courses. I also can't forget my own golf coach, where the pros, John Dedebeer, Justin Smool, my pops, and members have supported my junior golf career. I also want to thank the Burkhart family and the awards committee for providing this scholarship. As college is very expensive, I could use every penny. Finally, I want to recognize my mom and dad for all their love and support, and go Eagles. New for 2017, the Iowa PGA also awarded a scholarship to any previous high school graduate to assist them in their current college studies or for any Iowa PGA apprentice as they work through their PGA coursework. The inaugural winner of this scholarship is Jonathan Stockton, PGA assistant at Pinnacle Country Club. Jonathan has an undergraduate and master's degree from Western Illinois University and recently completed all coursework required by the PGA of America to become a PGA member. Congratulations to Jonathan on this being awarded this new scholarship and your election to PGA membership. Is Jonathan here? Please take a stand, Jonathan.
I want to thank Dave. This is my first awards luncheon, so it's everything I've heard of and more. I want to thank the committee for selecting me for this inaugural award. It was real special when Lisa Miller called me to let me know I had won this award. Thanks to all the people who donate to the foundation. As Steve Hutton said, it's important to give money back to the Iowa PGA for things like this to help me get through the schooling that I went through. And last but not least, I need to thank Erin, our new secretary. She's been a great mentor to me for the last 3 years. She encouraged me to apply for this, and I wouldn't have gotten it without her help, so thank you.
The Iowa Junior Tour Player of the Year Award winners. The Iowa PGA Junior Tour Player of the Year points totals continued for 2017 in a best-of approach. Points are earned by a player in the top 15 tournaments that he or she participated. At the conclusion of the season, the player with the most points acquired in their division is awarded this title. The age divisions include boys 11 and under, boys 12 to 13, boys 14 and 15, boys 16 to 18, girls 13 and under, girls 14 and 15, and girls 16 and 18. Events are categorized in 4 groups: major, ace, eagle, and birdie. Major point events are worth the most, then ace, then eagle, then birdie. There were 7 majors, 7 aces, 13 eagles, and 20 birdie events. The Iowa PGA would like to thank their entire staff at the entire staff at the Principal Charity Classic for their support as Iowa Junior Golf Tour title sponsor since 2010. Aaron Willey of Davenport, Iowa, played in an impressive 21 events this summer, which is over 400 actual golf holes, earning his Player of the Year title with 4,412 and 1/2 points. Aaron worked hard on his game all summer, seeing significant improvement. As the season progressed, he won 5 events, including the Quad Cities Junior at Imais, the Western Illinois Junior, the Airport National Junior, the Iowa PGA Junior Championship, and the Quad Cities Junior at Pinnacle Country Club. He also had 11 top 10 finishes in a very competitive and heavily participated division. Congratulations, Aaron, on your boys' 16-18 Player of the Year honor and a fantastic summer.
Hello, everybody. I'd obviously like to start off by thanking my parents. They're really the only reason I'm getting to do all this and get to be standing up here today. And I'd like to start by thanking where I started off. I didn't see him in here today, but Ron Crabb at Imais. I didn't see him in here, but I'd like to thank him starting off. And after that, I went out and I started golfing at Geneva Country Club, and I saw him, Steve Hutton over there. He's helped out a lot. And also, I started golfing with some guys out there. We have a lot of good golfers out there, and they've helped me a lot with my game. Some of you might know them: Greg Rios, Dave Shirkey, John Peters. A lot of people tend to know them when I say that's who I golf a lot with, and then they feel sorry for me for golfing with them sometimes too. And last, I'd like to thank the Iowa PGA for letting us come to the golf courses and all the professionals and dealing with us juniors at the golf courses. So, thank you, everyone.
That's a lot of junior tournaments. Aaron also plays in the Quad City Am Tour with those older guys, and I was feeling sorry for him after I heard that list. I'm sure they're sharpening that blade. There's some good players there. Paige Hoffman of West Des Moines can officially say she has won the Player of the Year title in each of the 3 girls' divisions on the Iowa PGA Junior Tour. Paige secured her girls' 16-18 title this year with 8,385 points. She was also the 2016 girls 14-15 Player of the Year and the 2014 and 15 girls 13 and under Player of the Year. Paige is another dedicated player who committed to a tough schedule, played hard all season long. She had 9 first-place finishes and never placed out of the top 6. Some of our bigger wins came at the Spring Junior Open, the Junior Tour Kickoff, the Eastern Iowa Junior, the Junior Tour Midsummer Classic, and the Iowa PGA Junior Championship. Congratulations, Paige, on another great season and on your newest Player of the Year honor in the girls 16 to 18 division.
This is my 4th time receiving this award, and oh, so much has changed since the first time I stood up here. For one, I can hit my driver about 100 yards further. But overall, the past 4 years have given me a great appreciation and love for the game of golf. This year in particular taught me a lot that would not have been possible without the tournaments run by Tess and Brett. The tournaments are very organized and extremely fun. I'd also like to thank all the outstanding sponsors such as Bushnell and the Principal Charity Classic. My summer would truly not be possible without these sponsors and their appreciation for junior golf. Golf is a hard game, but it gets easier when you have a great coach behind you. And for me, that is Ken Shaw. So thank you, Ken, for all the hours you have put into my swing and for teaching me new things about the game. Another group of people that have given me a love for the game is all the wonderful girls I get the honor of playing with. Whether I am having a good or bad day, these girls never fail to make me smile. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank my parents. My mom especially spent a lot of time in the car with me. She listened to me talk about golf for hours, and I always smiled as she did her "I say road, you say trip" chant as we loaded up to go. My dad constantly shows me just how fun this game truly is. My parents always support me in everything I do and give me the tools to become better. Their care and support means the world to me, and I would not be up here if it weren't for them. Thank you.
I don't think I've got 8,000 points of any kind accumulated in 49 and a half years, so congratulations, Paige. Colby Shackelford of Panora, Iowa is the boys 14-15 Division Player of the Year honoree with 5,880 points. No stranger to the Player of the Year winner's circle either, as he was also the 2015 boys 12-13 and 2013 boys 11 and under award winner. Colby played in 15 events this year and had five first place finishes, including one of the best major events on the schedule, the 42nd PGA Junior Championship hosted at Ames Golf and Country Club. Other victories were at Jester Park Junior, the Junior Tour Midsummer Classic, the Des Moines Junior, and the Junior Tour Metro Classic hosted at Warrior Run Golf Course. Congratulations, Colby, on another great season. Your boys 14 and 15 Player of the Year title.
Good afternoon. After a good year of spring golf and our team placing 3rd in state, I was looking forward to summer golf this year. I made a lot of new friends this summer and got to see a lot of friends from previous summers. I want to thank my parents for their continued support in driving me to all the tournaments this summer. A big thanks to Tess and the Junior Tour group for all their hard work throughout the season. Thanks to the Principal Charity Classic and all the things they do every year. Also, Dave and All-Star Pro Golf is great at making this program successful. And also, congratulations to all the award winners today. Thank you.
Taylor Sedevy of Granger, Iowa is the girls 14-15 Player of the Year, earning 6,317 and 1/2 points. Although her only first place victory was at the Iowa PGA Spring Junior Open, she had 4 seconds and committed to a tough schedule playing 16 events. She also never finished outside the top 6 when she played. Her runner-up victories at Lake Panorama, the Iowa PGA Cedar Rapids Junior, the Beaver Creek Junior, and the Eagle Junior at Carroll. Taylor always has a smile and a great attitude on the course, and her hard work and dedication was the key to earning this title. Congratulations, Taylor, on being the girls 14 and 15 Iowa PGA Junior Tour Player of the Year.
First, I want to just say how honored I am to be able to receive this award today. There are so many people that helped me get to where I am today, and they played a huge role. First, I want to thank Tess and the Iowa PGA for all their hard work this summer and making all the tournaments happen. Next, I'd like to thank Dave Brostrom and Principal Charity Classic for all their support through the years. I also want to thank my coaches Steve Smith and Jim Webb for helping me grow this past year and making me the golfer I was this summer. I also want to thank Jester Park for allowing me to call them my home course and letting me do what I love all summer. Finally, I want to thank my friends and family, especially my parents, for driving me to all the tournaments this summer, and it's just a huge honor, and I'm so thankful.
Will Simpson of Pella, Iowa is the boys 12-13 Player of the Year with 8,125 points. Will played in 20 events this summer and consistently finished in the winner's circle with 11 first-place victories, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds. He never finished outside the top 5 when he played, which is very impressive. A stroke average of 77.5, which is excellent considering these youngsters usually played yardages around or longer than 6,000 yards. He also had 42 birdies this season. A few notable first-place victories were at the 42nd PGA Junior at Ames Golf and Country Club, the Junior Tour Midsummer Classic, the Iowa PGA Cedar Rapids Junior, and the Iowa City Junior at Finkbine Golf Course. Congratulations to Will on his well-deserved Boys 12-13 Player of the Year honor.
I would first like to thank the Iowa PGA, Tess Gowdy, and the Principal Charity Classic. Second of all, I'd like to thank my mom for everything she did over the summer. She drove me over 3,500 miles around the state. I would also like to thank her for always supporting me no matter how I did. I would also like to thank her for always supporting me. Third of all, I would like to thank my dad for always supporting me and pushing me to become a better golfer. I would also like to thank my dad for getting me in the game of golf. I would like to also thank my mom for teaching me that what I do off the course is secondary to what I do off the course. If it wasn't for my mom and dad always supporting me, I wouldn't be here right now. I would also like to thank Jeff Smith for coaching me over the summer. Thank you.
Riley Hereford of Newton, Iowa is the girls' 13 and under Player of the Year honoree, earning 8,597 and 1/2 points. This division has the closest race all season, and Riley edged out her closest competitor by 60 points. The division continues to see rapid growth and fantastic play with 10 to 20 girls consistently each week. Playing in 16 events, she had 5 first-place finishes, never finished out of the top 3. Some of Riley's season highlights include victories at the Junior Tour Championship, the Iowa PGA Junior Championship, the season-ending Junior Tour Fall Classic. Congratulations, Riley, on a great season as the girls 13 and under Player of the Year honoree.
First off, I'd like to thank my parents and grandparents for driving me everywhere this season. Next, I'd like to thank my coach, John Shaver, for helping me get where I am today. I would also like to thank Brad Sponseller of my home course for letting me play. And then finally, I would like to thank all of the people here today for making these events possible. Thank you.
Evan Smith of Knoxville, Iowa, successfully defended his Player of the Year title in the boys 11 and under division, playing in 18 events and earning 8,970 points. He had a record 13 first-place finishes, never finishing outside the top 4. A few of his first place tournaments included Iowa PGA Spring Junior Open, the Junior Tour Fall Classic, the John Deere Classic Junior, and the Junior Tour Midsummer Classic. Continued congratulations to a junior golf rising star, boys 11 and under Player of the Year, Evan Smith.
First, I would like to thank my family that helped me make this year possible for me. That includes my parents, sisters, my grandparents, my brothers, and my friends that were always there to support me. I also want to thank the Iowa PGA Junior Tour staff for making this summer and making all these events possible. Also, I will thank the Principal Charity Classic for their sponsorship of the Iowa PGA Junior Tour. I want to thank Dave and All-Star Pro Golf for making this luncheon possible. Last of all, I want to give more thanks to my parents for booking all the hotels, paying for the tournaments, and paying for gas and food this summer. Thank you.
Kids would also like to thank the general contractors in their area that are building additions to their home for all of those trophies and medals. Sounds like 8,000 something points is the place to get to if you're going to win one of those awards. Congratulations to all of you, the parents, your teachers, and your home courses. I love that recognition. I grew up on Park District courses on a $200 pass in Rockford, Illinois, and if it wasn't for our city and our Park District providing a place for a poor kid to play golf, the classic saying, I wouldn't be standing here today. So thank you. Iowa PGA has some new members. The PGA of America is the world's largest sports organization comprised of 27,000 men and women golf professionals recognized as experts in growing, teaching, and managing the game of golf, while serving millions of people throughout its 41 sections nationwide. In 2017, the Iowa PGA section gained 4 new members. These individuals have completed the PGA Professional Golf Management Program and all other requirements and are currently working in a Class A capacity at their respective facilities. Congratulations to the following members. Please hold your applause until all these members have been announced. First, from Glens Creek Golf Course, Mike Armies. From Sunnyside Country Club, Adam Squires. From Pinnacle Country Club, Jonathan Stockton. And from Mason City Country Club, Jeffrey Zurowicz. The Horton Smith Trophy is an honor awarded annually to a PGA member for their contributions made to building the PGA image, their leadership, and network ability, promotion of the game of golf within their community, for outstanding and continuing contributions to the professional education. Mark Egley is a 23-year member of the PGA of America. He is always there to give back however it is needed. He's been a speaker and instructor at numerous education seminars and clinics over the years for not only our membership, but also area youth and in the golfing community. An incredible ambassador for the Iowa PGA section in our local government, and very passionate about how important the golf industry is to both the state of Iowa and nationally. He's always looking for avenues to network with his fellow professionals and the golfing public to stay informed, to provide information when needed, and to stay relevant in all things related to golf in Iowa. He has written countless articles that have been both published and available online. He has personally financed and sponsored the Iowa PGA Junior Tour to help it continue to grow and provide opportunities for young golfers. The number of contributions he has made in the Des Moines area and the state of Iowa are too numerous to count, and they continue to grow year after year. Not only is Mark the Horton Smith Trophy Award winner this year, he is also the PGA Player Development Award winner for 2017. The Player Development Award is presented to and recognizes a professional who dedicates their time to section and national growth of the game initiatives and for extraordinary and exemplary contributions and achievements in the area of player development. Criteria evaluated included the quantity, quality, and diversity of player development programs at his facility and on the quality of best practices, including uniqueness of ideas, increasing rounds or revenues, retention, and customer satisfaction. The individual chosen has demonstrated this capability to inspire his PGA professionals in the area of player development. Congratulations, Mark, on another great season, the 2017 PGA Player Development and Horton Smith Trophy Award winners.
Well, I didn't do all that in 23 years. I became a member in '83, so I'm not as good and quick as you made it out to be. First on the Horton Smith Award. I grew up in Michigan until I was 22, moved here in 1979 and became the head of golf instruction at Des Moines Golf and Country Club. And Horton Smith, for those, this is also called the President's Award because Horton Smith was a president of the PGA. And in Michigan, we had a lot of the old great PGA presidents and the likes of that. So I learned very, very young the importance of the PGA. And Ken Douglas was the great PGA professional that was the most giving guy that I ever knew in the game of golf. And I was hoping that he taught me pretty well. So when I got to Iowa, I had a different teaching style because I have an education degree, first of all. I know how to teach in progressions. I also have a kinesiology and anatomy and physics degree, and I'm known as roll 'em and fold 'em. And I was criticized once that all he's going to do is teach you to roll 'em and fold 'em. And I took the young man aside and I said, do you want the 250-page paper, what includes all the kinesiology movements in this, and do you want to know all the physics and everything else? He goes, no, 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 I'll stick with roll 'em and fold 'em. So I'm going to keep this still short. I'm going to switch over to the player development side. I see Mike Arms sitting here smiling over here. I see Sarah Bidney sitting over here. Sherry Newsom is going to become a member on November 1st. And I look around here, I think about my days at Iowa State, 20 years. Jay Horton, I think you're in the room. Judd Gibb was one of the young counselors during those days. Jimmy Webb was one of those great young counselors then. And Mark Hankins, who was golf coach at the University of Iowa. These were the people that I found one common denominator amongst them. They wanted to be goal setters. They wanted to be great. And in order to become great, they had to have these goals. And then as the years have gone by, I think of what Judd, what Tracy Vest has done, what Sean McCarty has done. You guys know them as these great players. But I know them as the people who will do anything to help young people, will do anything to help their members. And I've always been kind of partial to junior golf with all the programs that I've run. And 25 years ago, I couldn't have made those compliments about the members of the PGA because the PGA didn't have as big an emphasis on teaching. Back then it was Ken Shaw, congratulations on your award, Kenny, Kurt Schnell, and myself. We were basically the three only full-time teachers there, but then I look at the great job John Schauber's doing. And the list goes on and on and on. We have more great teachers in this section than ever before, and that's how you grow the game. I think about the time I met Tommy Hine and a guy named Dickerson. I did a seminar up at Amana. He goes, Mark, I'm just out of the military and I have a passion. Can't play very well, but I hope you can make my game a little bit better, but I want to teach veterans and do something special. And we all know what Jim has done. In another case, that the goal was different than being on the PGA Tour, but it was a great goal. And you think about what all the great things that Mark Burke and all these people have done. I'm really proud to be a member of this section more today in 2017 than any other time in my life. And I haven't even had a good talk with Dave Brosterman in a couple of weeks, but thank you for everything you do, and Horty as well, Tess Gowdy. You know what I think about you and how great you are. So thank you very much. I've never been this honored before, so thank you both very much.
Our PGA Sales Representative of the Year is the highest honor given to a sales rep in the Iowa section. This year's honoree is chosen based on his or her sales integrity, strengths in service, and communication, contributions made to the nominee's company's success, size and success of the line, sales call rotation, previous awards or community involvement activities, and contributions to the game of golf at the section level. I'm proud to announce Stan Sheffield of Acushnet Footjoy is the 2017 Iowa PGA Sales Representative of the Year. This is the 8th time the Iowa PGA section has honored him with this award. Most PGA members and apprentices will agree that Stan is one of the best. He has great character and work ethic, and the professionals know they can always count on Stan to take good care of them at their facility. Congratulations, Stan Sheffield, the 2017 PGA Sales Rep of the Year.
Thank you, Todd, and thanks to the committee for this great award. I very much appreciate it. I also like to thank Dave for his unparalleled support of the Iowa section. The more that I attend these meetings, the more it means to me to know of what Dave has done for this section and how neat it is that every year the fellow golf professionals get to meet and celebrate their achievements. Dave, thank you. I also want you to know that you might think, one would think that as a sales rep goes out there, that their first goal of the day is to get an order. That's actually number 2 in most of our books. The first one would be getting a free lunch. And so for that, I thank Dave also. As I was sitting last night with a few of you golf professionals having dinner, we were talking, it's just amazing how time has gone, but I've been doing this for 28 years as a sales rep, 18 of them here in Iowa as the FootJoy rep. And it makes me think of what brought me into golf. And it was when I'm going to take you back even farther. When I was 7 years old, I met a PGA golf professional who inspired me and was a man of great integrity, great character, and developed the passion in me for a love for the game of golf. And I knew at that time, as I worked with him and saw him several times a week throughout the years as I was growing up, that it was somebody like him that I wanted to be associated with in my career as I went out to make a living. So I've been really blessed to be able to work in such a great field. Over the 28 years that I've been doing this, there have been a lot of changes and a lot of challenges that we all have gone through. That's really, we have to adapt and change. I know there's a lot of us that yearn for the 1990s, Steve Hutton, but it's changed. And all kidding aside, the one thing that hasn't changed, that drives me every day to go out and do my job, is the PGA golf professional. In fact, I think the quality has gotten better, and it's because of you that I look forward to it every day to do my job. And for that, I thank you. Thank you very much.
I bet this is a common story in the room, but my assistant Chad and I, we have kind of a joke that if we mention the fact we haven't seen Stan in a while, it takes about 3 to 4 business days for him to show up without us calling. So we actually thought about you today, Stan. I'll see you on Friday. The Youth Player Development Award for 2017 is Brian Wilson, PGA head professional at Thunder Hills Country Club in Peosta, Iowa. Consideration for this award is based on the number of junior events hosted, length of the junior golf season, size and success of the nominee's junior program, the effect junior golf has on his facility, his community, and the amount of time the professional dedicates to junior golf. This is Brian's second Youth Player Development Award. He also earned this award in 2014. Brian understands the significance and importance of junior golf to help grow the game, and his passion and hard work and dedication have made a major factor in this success. He has a very successful and growing local junior golf program at Thunder Hills. He constantly works to improve the opportunities for juniors and families to play and enjoy golf at his facility. In 2015, he implemented his PGA Junior League golf program, and were able to host 2 9-member teams that competed this fun team golf event this year. Both the Thunderhill Leagues finished in the top 2 places. Brian doesn't let a little snow or cold stop him from growing the game either. He and his fellow professionals have worked the last 3 winters to provide golf in schools under the Iowa PGA Foundation Swings with Kids program. Through continued successful fundraising in his community, this year they were able to provide 2 boys and 2 girls from the program with a set of junior golf clubs and complimentary memberships to Timberline Golf Club to help build on their introduction to the game of golf. Brian believes everyone can learn so much from the game and works hard to have a positive impact on his area youth. The Iowa PGA is lucky to have such a dedicated professional and such a great passion and dedication to the game of golf. Congratulations, Brian Wilson, the 2017 Youth Player Development Award recipient.
Age stinks. You get old and you have to put reading glasses on. But a lot of people I want to thank. First of all, Dave and All-Star Golf. It's unbelievable what you do for this luncheon as well as the Iowa PGA, so thank you very much. I'd also like to thank Todd and your selection committee. It is a great honor to receive this award. I'd like to thank my wife, Diane. She puts up with the crazy schedule that all of us have, and I don't know how she does it, but thank you. I also want to thank all of my staff at Thunder Hills. Without their help and support with these programs, as well as the local golf pros, Dickie Speck, and everyone else in the area, we couldn't accomplish the things that we are accomplishing in the area. I also like to thank my mentor, Larry Gladson. He's not here today, but he definitely taught me what it takes to be a successful PGA golf professional. I also want to thank my parents for introducing me to the game. Golf has provided me a lot of opportunities to travel the world and develop a lot of great relationships. And I truly believe that is why I am so passionate about getting kids involved with the game of golf. It's a game that you can play your entire life and with a lot of people. In the last couple of years, I've received so much positive feedback from the PGA Junior League, as well as the PGA Swings with Kids, from parents and participants. If you are not involved with these programs, I strongly encourage you to do that, because you're gonna get more of a reward from it than what they get. Last but not least, I'd like to congratulate all the junior players. Keep up the hard work and keep the positive attitude, because that's how you're going to be successful in golf and life. So thank you.
Brian doesn't really need reading glasses. He just agreed to put them on so that I wasn't the only one. Wouldn't you just love to have your kid hanging around that guy? No question about it. The Bill Strasbaugh Award winner for 2017 is Greg Mason, head professional at Spirit Hollow Golf Club in Burlington, Iowa. The Strasbaugh Award is presented to an individual who demonstrates alternative methods of improving the employment conditions for the PGA professional. Other guidelines and criteria used include the indication of significant involvement and contributions in mentoring of fellow professionals and providing us a noteworthy impact on our careers. The values that represent the golf professional are reinforced through this person's outstanding character, service to the community through civic or charitable activities. This is Greg's 4th Strasbaugh Award honor. He continues to be active and involved serving on the Iowa PGA Board of Directors, the Iowa PGA Foundation Board, and the GIVE Board of Directors. Congratulations to Greg Mason on your continued success and your 2017 Iowa PGA Bill Strasbaugh Award honor.
Pretty neat stuff today. Again, juniors, great job. You got guys like Brian Wilson. I got to work with one of his old golf pros, Doug Snook, at Waverly, so I know the impact that PGA members, never got his status, but again, we as PGA members and as a Bill Strasbaugh Award winner, that's really what I'm all about, is helping my fellow PGA professionals. Dave, thank you again for everything, and again, your mentorship to me. I don't need the rope like you told us about last night, but we'll explain that sometimes later, but mixed crowd today. So. And then, Aaron, you look at family, and they talked about that was the initial tone as far as family goes, and you got your regular family there and your extended family, and obviously your really extended family, so congratulations on your award. Thanks.
Last year, one of the PGA Professional of the Year honors is to get a chance to go out to Bandon Dunes in Oregon and hang out with all the other Professionals of the Year from that particular calendar year. I was bombarded with basically one question: how's Mace? So that guy has affected and been part of the network of the PGA, not just here in Iowa, but nationally. And of course, I got an opportunity to tell him he was doing just wonderfully. The Iowa PGA Patriot Award is presented to an Iowa PGA professional who personifies patriotism through the game of golf and demonstrates unwavering commitment and dedication to the men and women who have valiantly served and protected the United States of America and our freedom. Mark Burke, the PGA Director of Golf at Warrior Run Golf Course, is this year's recipient. This is his third Patriot Golf Award. Mark followed his family tradition and enlisted in the United States Air Forces, where he served 4 years in the U.S. Navy just out of high school. Since Mark became a PGA member, he has actively supported patriotic activities, both financially and by offering his time and resources to programs that benefit veterans. One of Mark's principal contributions is to the Golf for Injured Veterans Everywhere GIVE Foundation, which was founded in 2007. He began volunteering at Blue Top Ridge during the GIVE's inaugural year, and in 2010 he was promoted to Assistant Director of Instruction. Since 2013, Mark continues to make a difference serving as the lead instructor for the GIVE Central Iowa chapter, utilizing Warrior Run, the course he leases, as their home base. Veterans who participate in the Central Iowa GIVE chapter attend their lessons or are able to play unlimited golf at no charge. Congratulations and thanks to Mark Burke, the 2017 Iowa PGA Patriot Award recipient.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Dave. That was a great dinner. Appreciate that. Thanks to congratulations to all the other the winners and all the nominees. Congratulations to the new board of directors. I think we're in good hands there. Thank you to my wife, who couldn't be here today because she's traveling, but she definitely supports me along the way. Thank you to Carol Niski-Henrich, who's sitting right over there, and I've got to tell you, is probably one of the most, one of the greatest teachers, and also an awesome patriot in her own right. As the Patriot Award winner, it kind of gives me a little bit of a chance to talk about patriotism. And no, I'm not going to mention whether it's good or bad, whether you kneel or stand, or I don't really care. I don't have time to talk about that, because I do have a mission that I'm on today. And the mission that I'm on is support for the GIVE Foundation. GIVE Foundation has become, basically I live, breathe, eat, sleep. It's all about that. And a few other things. 21 grandchildren, that stuff. But what we need for the GIVE Foundation, and I'm not talking about money, it's kind of in a way, but what we really need is holes. We need more holes for our veterans to play. We need more availability of golf. And it's not just golf, but not just holes, but we also need equipment. We also need, you know, places to practice, places to play. Thanks to Mark Egley for what he does. And I could go on and on. Ken Shaw has been awesome to bringing equipment to us. And that list goes on and on. I could go on forever. But what I really want to extend out or get the point across is that what we need is, once these veterans, which we are now over 1,000 that have gone through the program, what we need now is a place for them to continue their healing. And that's what it is. We're trying to get these guys and gals that have gone through some serious injuries, whether it be recently in Afghanistan or as far back as Korea. Even, I think we've got a few World War II guys left. But what I'm asking for is that you find a way, think of a way that you could help out. And you know, I know that if you're at a private course, it's probably going to be difficult to give them free golf. But there might be something else that you can do. Maybe come to either one of my classes or our classes at Warrior, or to Riverside here and help Jim with his group, or even make a trip up to Northwest Iowa to Grand Falls, where we've added the third location. Anyways, if there's anything you could do, especially add your course to the list of courses that the vets can play. And I'm not asking for, you know, full, you know, what we do is they can come anytime they want to, and they can play anytime they want to, and they can bring somebody with them for nothing. But even if you could just give them a few rounds a year, or you know, restrict it to you'll take care of their green fee and they got to pay for their cart or something. There's a lot of different things you can do, but see if you can think of something that you could do for the Give Foundation in the form of them being able to continue their healing process after they go through the 5-week class. And one last group that I really forgot to thank would be the board of directors of the Give Foundation. And in the room here, there's, I know Greg's here and Steve's here, and I don't know if Brian's here or not. You know, that's guys, our PGA members that are on the board of directors for the Give Foundation. And then in addition to that, Dan and Bobby Keel have, you know, they have this place, but they also do behind the scenes, not really looking for thanks or anything, but they do a ton for the Give Foundation and for our veterans. And so I want to thank the entire board and all of you, and thanks for giving me this extra time. I'm sorry I kind of cheated a little bit.
Extra time well spent, Mark. My pastor at church used to have ouch moments. It's when he was preaching about something that he wasn't quite on board with in his personal life. And being the head pro at an Army golf course, we do a lot for our active duty there at Rock Island Arsenal, but I had an ouch moment there, Mark. We need to do more for our Give Foundation guys there at the Arsenal. So you got one vote, you got one guy going forward. The other ouch moment was when he said he had 21 grandkids. I don't want that bill at Christmas time. Player of the Year awards. At the conclusion of each tournament schedule, the Iowa section will name Player of the Year in 4 distinguished categories. Player of the Year is awarded solely on performance in tournaments designated as point events. Each division maintains its own eligibility and guideline requirements designed by the tournament committee to ensure the integrity of each award. The tournament committee determines all point events. The 4 divisions, Player of the Year, Assistant Player of the Year, Senior Player of the Year, and Super Senior Player of the Year. An award is also given to the Iowa PGA professional with the lowest scoring average for the season. Before I present these, I do want to thank Brian Warnemont, our tournament director, the last couple of years. Brian, terrific job, and your committee. Thank them for the volunteer work they put in to give us all a great opportunity to play at wonderful courses and to make it fun and profitable for some. Ben Montgomery, Assistant PGA Apprentice at Jones Park Golf Course in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, is the Iowa PGA Omega Assistant Player of the Year. Ben played in 16 total events, accumulating 1,165 points over that span. He had outright titles in the assistant division, in the TaylorMade Adidas East-West Team event at Beaver Hills, National Car Rental Assistant Championship at Jester Park, Mizuno 36-hole Classic at South Hills, Harris Golf Cars Pro Facility at Geneva Golf and Country Club, Pro Senior at the Preserve at Rathbun Lake, and the Iowa PGA Shootout at Hyperion Field Club. Congratulations, Ben Montgomery, the Iowa PGA Assistant Player of the Year.
I just want to start off by thanking All-Star Pro Golf for having this event, Brian and your committee for everything you do. Also want to thank Zach, what he does on for every Monday, as well as the PGA pros that open up their facility, and as well as their superintendents. I also want to thank my wife. She wasn't able to make today, she's at work, but for letting me on days off from the golf course, instead of doing stuff at home, going and play some golf. So thank you.
In 2012, the Iowa PGA added a Super Senior division for the Iowa PGA tournaments. Joe Butler, the head professional at Burlington Golf Club in Burlington, Iowa, is the recipient of the 2017 Omega Super Senior Player of the Year Award. Joe played in 14 events in the Super Senior division. To qualify, professionals must be at least 60 years of age. Some of Joe's highlights wins in the Super Senior division were at the the NB Golf Cars, M&M Golf Cars, Iowa PGA Foundation Pro-Am at Wakanda, the Iowa PGA Pro Junior at Pheasant Ridge, the Iowa PGA PNC at Davenport Country Club, the Iowa Senior PGA PNC at Blue Top Ridge, and the Tournament of Champions at Arsenal Island Golf Course. Congratulations, Joe Butler, on his first Super Senior Iowa PGA Player of the Year. Joe couldn't be here today because he's keeping his hair from going gray at that age. And he's working on his swing tempo. He has a big problem there. Steve Hutton, the head golf professional at Geneva Golf and Country Club in Muscatine, Iowa, is the Omega Senior Player of the Year. The Senior Player of the Year race was very close this year, and the Tournament of Champions at the final event determined the winner and runner-up, who was Jeff Smith from Harvest Point. Steve played in 19 PGA section events this season with 3 first places. He won the senior division at the TaylorMade Adidas East-West Team event at Beaver Hills. He won the Tournament of Champions at Arsenal Island Golf Course and was also the champion of the season-long Senior Match Play Championship for the 2nd year in a row. Congratulations to Steve Hutton on his 2nd straight Senior PGA Player of the Year award.
Thanks, everyone. David, thank you. To my wife, Michelle, thank you for allowing us to play golf on Mondays on our days off. Smitty, thank you. Another great year of playing. I would leave you today with a challenge to our juniors. Find a friend that doesn't play, and your goal is to get them to the golf course next year. As you grow, we grow, okay? I'm gonna leave you with that challenge for our juniors. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
Steve, I'd love to tell you that I'm going to give you a hard time about winning 3 in a row when I turn 50 next March, but I have a feeling I'm not going to have much of an impact on that. Congratulations, you're playing great. Keep it up. The Omega Iowa PGA Player of the Year for 2017 is Sean McCarty, the head professional at Brown Deer Golf Club. This is his 8th Player of the Year award. Sean played in 20 events in 2017, captured 4 titles, and tied for first place 2 other times. Outright wins included the season-long Match Play Championship, the Mizuno 36-hole Classic at South Hills, the Prairie Meadows Pro-Am at Copper Creek, and the All-Pro Stableford event at Brown Deer. Sean is also the low-scoring average award winner for 2017. Every year, the PGA section acknowledges the golf professional with the lowest average. To be considered for the award, professionals must play in a minimum of 10 rounds that are included on the Player of the Year schedule. These events also must be administered by the Iowa PGA section staff. Low stroke average is compiled by adding all rounds played and then dividing by the total number of rounds. If you haven't figured that out by now, you do not belong in this room. Congratulations, Sean, on being the Iowa PGA Player of the Year honoree and also by winning the lowest score average.
First of all, I just want to thank Dave and All-Star Golf for everything he's done over the years and continues to do for us. But along that lines, we have great sponsors that throughout the entire season that make our section events worthy of playing for, and make them a little more difficult because there's some good dollars out there to play for. So I know some are in the room, some not. But again, thanks for all their support. And I truly wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for my wife and kids and allowing me to play and practice when I do. I also have a great staff back at Brown Deer with my assistant, Brian Warnemont, and our right-hand man, Daryl Shirley in the shop, who couldn't make it here today because he had to work. Anyway, and truly, Mark Eagle and I, we still work together, and he tries to get the kinks out of my swing, and he's been very supportive to me over the years, so I can't thank him enough. And first of all, I really want to congratulate you junior golfers for all the great work you did this summer. Good luck to you in the future and keep up the hard work. So thanks to the Iowa PGA staff for their support and great job over the summer, putting on the tournaments. They're, well ran and just smooth all around. So with that being said, I just want to say thanks again and congratulations all you other award winners, very deserving. Thank you.
One thing some of you juniors may not know about Sean, he's obviously a great player. He's been a really great player for a long time, back to high school, his days at University of Iowa. He's also probably our most injured player. And for those arms and that back to get through 20 tournaments this year and to do it so successfully takes more than a beautiful golf swing and long distance and a sharp putter. It takes a lot of guts. And Sean, it's an honor to play with you week in and week out on behalf of our section. Sean once beat me in the match play, and I'm going to brag about it. I was on the 17th green. You hear that? The 17th, not the 7th. I made it to the back 9. And he was about 4 feet short of the green. I had about 15 feet to take it to the 18th, and he chipped it in. And he turned to me and said, "Sorry." And he meant it. It was a joy. It was a great day. A lot of fun. This is a special one. Our Iowa PGA Distinguished Service Award was created to honor outstanding individuals as well as organizations for their contributions and service to the game of golf for inspiring others. Recipients are selected for their display of leadership, integrity, volunteering, sportsmanship, enthusiasm of the game. Our former executive director, Troy Christensen, served as our executive director from 2006 to 2017. Began his career with the Iowa PGA in 1998. For almost 20 years, he dedicated his time, expertise, and efforts for the Iowa PGA membership and our golfing community. His contributions over the years have elevated both the Iowa PGA section and the Iowa PGA Foundation and are numerous and significant. Most importantly, his friendship will be enduring for years to come. The Iowa PGA Distinguished Service Award was created to honor those that are outstanding, who show great leadership and great sportsmanship, for showing great enthusiasm for the game of golf and inspiring everyone around them. Troy certainly exemplifies this criterion and offers many more to every one of us. Troy could not be here today, but the Iowa PGA family would like to again thank him for his service and his friendship. He sent a letter for me to read, and I will do that now. And then after that, I'm going to ask Tess to come up and accept the award on his behalf. He really couldn't have done it without you. Hello, everyone. I wish I could be here today to accept this special award. I want to thank my friend and longtime Iowa PGA sponsor, Dave Brostrom, and All-Star Pro Golf for supporting this special day once again. It is a true honor to accept the same award that Dave received last year at this time. When I was first notified about this special recognition, a few things quickly raced through my mind. Although this award is being presented to me as an individual, in reality, the staff members involved over the past 19 years should also be recognized. I have been fortunate to work with some outstanding people, and I'm truly grateful for that. The one person who was by my side for the majority of my time with the Iowa PGA is Tess Gowdy. Without Tess, much of what we have accomplished would have never been possible. Tess has always been a devoted Iowa PGA employee, and words cannot explain the impact she has made. Another group of individuals that I'd like to recognize are the board members and officers that I've had the privilege to work with. The Iowa PGA section is lucky to have those dedicated men and women who volunteer their time and their talents. The direction of the association is ultimately in their hands, and I was lucky to have great people to work with. Now that I've been away from the job for the past 8 months, there are many things that I miss. There is a very important one worth mentioning. I miss my friendships with the Iowa PGA members, apprentices, and sponsors. I miss seeing all of you at the special events like today. I would like to thank my wife, Karen, my children, Ava, Caden, and Bella, for allowing me to work long hours that come with being employed in the golf business. I'm extremely fortunate to have been in a position that didn't seem like work. The game of golf is extra special, and the friendships mentioned earlier is a great example of that. Again, thank you, Dave, and All-Star Pro Golf for sponsoring this special day, Troy Christensen. Thank you, Troy. A big round of applause for Troy. Troy, you are missed, but you are not forgotten, my friend. The Assistant Professional of the Year is the highest honor paid to an assistant golf professional in the Iowa PGA. Various contributions made to the game of golf and to the success of the facility are just a few of the guiding principles used to determine the honoree of this prestigious award. Character of the nominee and respect from other professionals is another major aspect of the Assistant Professional of the Year. Drew Murphy, Assistant Professional and Tournament Director at Des Moines Golf and Country Club, is the 2017 Assistant Professional of the Year. His primary duties include club fitting, Mighty Mike Junior Golf Program, and tournament operations. Drew plans, budgets, and operates nearly 50 events at Des Moines Golf and Country Club. By focusing on customization for each event, he was able to create materials that allowed each event to feel unique and stand apart from one another. Drew will also be one of the first to recognize his incredible team at Des Moines Golf and is grateful for all the wonderful professionals that assist in producing an incredible product. Nothing supports his statement more than the fabulous job they did in hosting the Solheim Cup in 2017. Congratulations, Drew, on a fantastic season and being honored as the Iowa PGA Assistant Professional of the Year for 2017.
Thank you. I would like to first thank Dave and All-Star Golf. Thank you for putting on the luncheon and your continued support with the Iowa PGA. Second, I would like to thank the Des Moines Golf staff. Without Scott, Don, Janet, Tracy, and the rest of our staff, this wouldn't be possible. Also like to thank Brian and Larry at Elmcrest for showing me how to get into the golf business and create a career back when I was just a junior golfer. Without you guys, I would not be here today. And finally, I'd like to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my grandmother here in the room today. Thank you very much for your support over the years. Again, without you, this would not be possible. Thank you for putting up with everything over the years. Thank you.
First time I met Aaron Kruger, we were actually playing in a section event. I believe he was an assistant at Sunnyside at the time. Neither one of us played very well. He acted like a true gentleman, and I acted like a 5-year-old in a candy store that wasn't going to get anything. But later on, a couple years after that, and I got to know Aaron a little bit better, there was a job opening at Pinnacle Country Club in Milan, Illinois, and I called the boss over there, Marlon. And Marlon said, "Are you interested in this position?" And I was like, "No." I said, "You got to hire Aaron Kruger." Well, I got to do this again a few years later when the job opening opened up at Wakanda Club. And I called Dave Schneider, and Dave said, "Todd, are you interested in applying for the position?" And I said, "No, you got to hire Aaron Kruger." So this is a very special moment. Aaron and I also went to church. Our families went to church together. And you all know him, and if you don't, you want to get to know him. The Golf Professional of the Year is the highest honor paid to a golf professional. The honoree is chosen based on leadership abilities that stand above the rest, contributions made to their facility's success, and excelling as an overall golf professional at the Iowa PGA section level. Aaron has been a PGA member for 10 years, inducted in membership in 2007. And he's currently the director of golf for Wakanda Club in Des Moines, Iowa, where he has been a respected and valued member of their staff for the past 7 years. Originally from Fulton, Illinois, a graduate of the University of Iowa, where he competed on the men's golf team. He worked as an assistant professional at Wildcat Run Country Club in Estero, Florida, and Sunnyside Country Club in Waterloo, Iowa. He also served as head professional at Pinnacle Country Club. Aaron is serving his 8th consecutive year on the Iowa PGA Board of Directors, is the current vice president, and as of a couple hours ago, I guess you're not the current vice president. He is our president for the next 2 years. We are in good hands. He was just elected, yeah, there we go. He was just elected this morning as the Iowa PGA president. That's a good job. You did a terrific job. Throughout his career, Aaron has won numerous awards, and his accomplishments as a PGA member and within his community are abundant. Some of these honors and accolades include participating in the 2014 PGA Championship, the 2009 and 2014 John Deere Classic, and in 8 of the last 9 PGA Professional Championships. He is also the 2008 and 2013 Iowa PGA Section champion, and a 2016 U.S. Open sectional qualifier. Additionally, he is the 2007 Iowa PGA Assistant Professional of the Year and the 2010 and 2014 Iowa PGA Private Merchandiser of the Year. He was the 2013 Bill Strasbaugh Award winner and the 2014 Iowa PGA Player Development Award winner. In just a very short time, Aaron has proven to be a great leader, and his commitment and contributions to his facility, section, and the game of golf are extraordinary and remarkable. On behalf of the section, your family and friends here in the room, Aaron Kruger, I want to introduce you as the Iowa PGA Professional of the Year for 2017.
That's not fair, Todd. Thank you. You don't have a very good memory, but thank you. Wow. Thank you all very much. Todd, thank you for all of your work this year as our Special Awards Chairman. Your dear friend, your call to let me know about this award is something I'll never forget. Also, thank you to the members of your committee. I know all of you have put a lot of work into reviewing this nomination and these nominations and selecting our winners. Iowa PGA staff, thank you for setting up all the awards, conducting this luncheon.
in all that you do. Dave, Jay, All-Star Pro Golf, thank you. It's been said time and time again, but you don't know how much it means to us. For your long-term support of this luncheon and your friendship. Thank you. Congratulations to all of our other award winners, along with everyone that was nominated for the awards this year. Your passion is evident, and I'm honored to be recognized alongside of you. Congratulations to all of our junior players of the year. You are a group of inspiring juniors, and keep up the great work in all that you do. Continue to follow your dreams. I really hope that I see many of you up here on this stage winning these PGA awards in the near future. Never purposefully sought out to win an award, and I wasn't sure if I was even qualified to win this one. I don't know who nominated me, but I tried to find out what made them think that I should be considered for this award. Through all this reflecting, there's one thing that I'd become certain of. I didn't accomplish any of this alone. I realized that three things had brought me to a place where I would be considered for an award like this: faith, family, and my fellow PGA professionals. As a Christian, as Todd said, we went to church together, but I have a strong faith, and I put my faith in Jesus. And I believe that the Lord has directed my path, and He's put amazing people along the way. It's been my joy and privilege to follow His will in my life, and I give Him the glory. I promise you that not everything has been easy in this life. There's been a lot of difficult times, ups and downs, but looking back, I've come to realize how He's used some failures and struggles to humble and refine me. I didn't set out to be a golf professional. In fact, there were several options ahead that were on my list of dream careers. I started by wanting to play professional baseball until I took a pitch off the face right about the time I started junior high, and that derailed my plans for that. So I started to play golf, and that dream changed, and then my dream changed to wanting to play professional golf. That carried through until I was about into college, when I was planning to study finance, and if professional golf didn't work, I'd join my dad as a financial advisor. However, when I got to college, I hated finance class, which is ironic from the last 2 years I've spent as your finance chair. And finance class hated me, so that was kind of a sign that it was time to look for something different. And I fell back on the relationships that I've had with PGA professionals in my life to default and say, you know what, I want to be a PGA professional just like them. Max Hines was my first PGA professional at Clinton Country Club growing up. After Max retired in 1992, Steve Riley was hired to fill his position. Steve and I played a lot of golf together. He took me to several Iowa PGA Pro-Ams. I looked up to Steve in many ways and was more than thankful for the instruction he gave me. He was a mentor, a friend, and helped me get an opportunity to play the golf at the University of Iowa just like he did. I'm extremely thankful to my college golf coach, Terry Anderson. Terry took a chance on me and offered me a position on the Iowa men's team. TA, you've been a tremendous friend and someone I've always looked up to and deeply respected. He gave me an opportunity to be a Hawkeye and play college golf, something I'm forever thankful for. Todd Smith gave me summer jobs when he owned the More Fun driving range in Morrison, and where I worked there, I definitely hit 10 times more golf balls than I ever sold to customers. And he hired me at Linwood Links. Todd, thank you for giving me my first real job and a start in the golf business. After I graduated college in 2003, I got married and then worked a summer for Todd at Linwood, and then Tanya and I moved down to Florida as Todd said, down in Estero, Florida. I worked at Wildcat Run. I worked under a great PGA professional, originally from Iowa, and Pete Behringer, and alongside another PGA professional, Jonathan Statera. Both were tremendous influences on me in the short time that I was with them, and I'm grateful for both of them. While we lived down there, we went through Hurricane Charlie, and then realized that we didn't want to start a family down in Southwest Florida, so we immediately started to look for a way to return home to Iowa and into the Iowa PGA. Steve Riley had just moved from Clinton to Sunnyside, and he graciously invited me back to work for him in the spring of 2005. It was a blessing to come back and work for my mentor and the man most responsible for me becoming a PGA professional. Steve made it his mission to equip me to get my own job as a head professional, something I hope that all of you as PGA professionals are doing with your assistance. Steve and Jane were wonderful to Tanya and I during our time at Sunnyside, and we're forever indebted to them. I'm especially grateful for Steve for allowing me to have a few hours off when Lydia was born. At the end of 2007, I was blessed with that first job as a head professional and started at Pinnacle Country Club in 2008, evidently thanks to Todd. I spent 3 great years working for the Miller family, Marlon McManus, and the amazing membership at Pinnacle, and the welcoming love and support they gave to my family and I will never be forgotten. My last part of my last season in 2010 at Pinnacle is something I'll remember like yesterday. We had a lot of highs and lows of that season. And right before Labor Day, I received a call from John Dinnebeer, who was Special Awards Chair at the time, and he had let me know that I had just won the Merchandiser of the Year award, something I was very proud of as a small golf shop owner at Pinnacle. But on that same day, my grandpa passed away, who introduced me to the game of golf. Right around that time, Tanya had become pregnant again, and not more than a month later, we had our second miscarriage of the year. And we were kind of left wondering what else would go wrong. But at that time, another major life change happened within a few weeks, and I was a finalist for a new job, and a door was open to become the next head golf professional at Wakanda. Moving away from Pinnacle, where we were close to family and established a lot of close friends, was difficult, especially during this stressful time. However, I never imagined what working at Wakanda Club would allow me to experience. Hosting a Champions Tour event, having an amazing staff and the resources to serve the membership, being able to serve on the section board, taking golf trips with the members, and having support to play competitive golf are just a few of the things that Wakanda's offered to me. Best part about being at Wakanda is getting to work for your best friend, even though sometimes he's confused as my dad. Dave, your friendship, leadership, support, passion, and patience have inspired me to be the best professional that I can be. I'm so thankful to work for you and with you every day. Not only that, but you're a pretty good caddy too, even if I haven't paid you a cent, which is easy to see why I overlook when you bend irons with a wet towel or leak business cards during a major championship. Sorry for giving you a hard time, but I can't tell you how much I respect and how much you mean to me. To my fellow staff members at Wakanda, I can't thank you enough. It's a pleasure to work alongside you. Grant, Sarah, Tyler, and Daniel both back home. You're all amazing to work with, and I appreciate all that you do. Grant, it's been great to see you grow in your role as a professional. And Sarah, your passion as a teacher and a junior golf leader is unparalleled. You all allow me to serve the section, travel with members, compete, and spend time at home, and I never have to worry about our operation while I'm gone. Thank you. I'm also beyond thankful for the support of the Wakanda membership. To see President Greg Whitkey here, Honorary President Greg Whitkey here, means the world. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for your friendship and your support. Our membership is truly special, and I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done for my family and I. Last but certainly not least is the impact that my family's had on me. And there were several family members that I wish were here today. My daughter Lydia, she's in 5th grade. She's back home, and she would have been bored out of her mind, so it's better off. My sister Libby, who tolerated our family vacations growing up that revolved around golf. I'm looking forward to seeing her over the weekend. And my late grandparents. I was blessed to grow up in Fulton, Illinois, and I lived a mile from all 4 of my grandparents. My late Papa Bill introduced me to the game of golf, and some of my most treasured memories growing up involved playing golf with him. To my parents, Jean and Susan, thank you. Growing up, you sacrificed so much to afford me every opportunity imaginable. You instilled in me faith, values, and a strong work ethic, modeled a great marriage, and earned my full trust, love, respect, and friendship. Thank you so much for all you've done for me and for supporting me in everything. I love you dearly. Thankful you're here. Tony, I don't even know where to begin. I think it's been exactly 20 years, give or take a week or two, since we went on our first date. From our long-distance relationship to college to several moves together, you've been right there for me and have supported me every step along the way. You're patient with me, and somehow you tolerate the hours that this business requires. You're an incredible mother to our amazing daughter, Lydia. Your faith is unwavering. You're my sounding board, my voice of reason. Your name belongs on this board as much as mine does, Tanya. We do life together, and I sell so much of this to you. Thank you. I'm living my dream as a PGA professional. None of the experiences I've had, the people I've met, places I've gone, would have been possible without faith, family, and the PGA professionals in my life. I'm honored to represent the Iowa PGA as Golf Professional of the Year. This award means a lot to me, but not nearly as much as the relationships and friendships that I've developed along the way. Thank you.